Our business name is Four Guys Fire Trucks. I'm Mark Albright and I'm President and CEO. Well, in the name, obviously, fire trucks, we build fire trucks, and we've been in business since 1974, and we produce about 50 new fire trucks a year that we put out the door to various fire companies all over the East Coast. We have many different jobs throughout the shop. A lot of welding and fabrication goes on, so we need welders, electricians. We do a lot of electrical work on the fire trucks for the lights. We have painters. Our paint shop is always in need of workers. And we have basic fabricators that do fit and finish using drills and brake press and shear. So a lot of different skills and a lot of different opportunities. We do a lot of cross-training so that people are available to do different jobs on the fire trucks. In the office, we have draftsmen, we have engineers, we have purchasing agent, business manager. So office work is definitely there also with our business. Our hiring needs, always looking for good workers out in the shop. We have an aging workforce, so we like to bring people on and try and get them trained so that they can take over someday for these skilled workers that we already have. So be it the paint shop, electricians, finish workers, welders, fabricators. So the need is there for good workers that want to come in and make a career here, which most of our employees have done over the years. Training-wise, depending on what your skills are, if it's an electrician, you know, if you have the skills to run wires and do wiring and electrical, that's something we need in that electrical end. Paint-wise, if you've had any experience painting in an auto body shop or whatever, is very helpful. And of course, welding, if you have a background in welding, that's definitely needed for the bodybuilding and things like that. You know, a good candidate is someone that wants to work and put forth their best effort. It's a matter of being here, showing up for work every day, and getting along with those workers that you're working with, and willing to learn and advance over the years. Applying for work here is just coming into the office, and we have applications available. And by chance, I can maybe sit down with you once you fill out the application, or if you need to take it with you, you can send it back and maybe set up another interview at a later date.
We're Global Incorporated, SFC Valve. My name's Linda Heining, and I'm President and CEO. We manufacture, assemble, and test valves and components for the U.S. Navy and the naval shipyards throughout the country. We have been in business for over 50 years and employ 49 people at our Somerset location, and we have 13 people at our location in Kent, Washington. We manufacture several lines of steam valves and underway replenishment systems to allow refueling at sea, provisions, and spare parts for the ships. We hire machinists, assemblers, quality inspectors, welders, engineers, drafters, technical writers, IT and cybersecurity, accounting, and sales staff. We currently are looking for a quality inspector. For a quality inspector, we're looking for someone that's detail-oriented, able to use measuring equipment, and would involve at least 2 years of training. And we are fortunate to have an approved apprenticeship program certified by the state of PA to train this candidate. A welder just have the basic knowledge, because since we do work for the government, they have specific certifications that they would have to be approved on, so we would go through the whole training with that. They just need the basics of knowing how to weld, and we would take care of the certifications. Our engineering team, we're looking for somebody that has at least associate's degree. For the machinists, we like to have at least 2 years experience, but we also have an apprenticeship program for the machinists that we can pull them right out of high school, and they can go through our apprenticeship program and get their papers after 4 years. Accounting, we like to have at least, some experience, like 2 years in accounting, but we also train that as well. IT, we definitely want somebody that has at least 2 to 4 years experience, in cybersecurity the same. We want somebody that's responsible, have the attention to detail, have good communication skills, wanting to be a team player. On our website, we have an online application process, or you can stop by and complete a application, or we also have an email, jobs@globalsfc.com, and send a resume with it.
My business name is Hoover Conveyor and Fabrication Corporation. My name's Jeremy Hoover. I'm Vice President of Sales and Marketing. Hoover Conveyor is a family-owned manufacturing company. We specialize in the fabrication of conveyor systems and bulk handling material systems. We manufacture conveyor systems, bulk handling systems, and specialized fabricated products. We service about 40 states. We've shipped internationally, and the primary location for where we sell and distribute is across the eastern half of the U.S., and we're extremely heavy in the southeastern part of the United States. So jobs that Hoover has, we have everything from draftsmen, sales and marketing folks, obviously general administrative people, but then welders, fabricators, painters, assemblers, machinists, general laborers, and we're going to be soon adding some specialized web technology development personnel. Currently, we're looking for welders and especially fabricators, and the difference between a welder and a fabricator is a welder is somebody who pretty much specializes in just welding. A fabricator can take an actual blueprint, dissect the blueprint, and build everything straight from the blueprint. So they can, they have an extensive background in being able to read blueprinting and building from that blueprint. We don't require a college education. A lot of the people that we hire here either come from a background in the industry where they've been doing it ever since high school. A lot of our folks have a VOTEC certificate or education. Obviously, any kind of specialized training in drafting, reading of blueprints, specialized mechanical training skills, even people who may have gone through a VOTEC program for auto mechanics tend to have a mechanical aptitude, and that's very usable for us. Candidates that we really are attracted to oftentimes have a strong desire to work. They show up on time. We look a lot of times at work history. Somebody who's not been a job hopper per se. If you jump from job to job to job, it makes us a little leery about investing time and energy into the person. But a strong work ethic. We look a lot at leadership skills. Attendance is definitely a big one, because if we're going to be successful here, we have to have our people show up for work. And I guess hungry to learn, or driven to expand beyond what they're currently doing. Currently, you can apply through stopping in at our office and filling out an application. Here fairly soon we're going to be adding our application to our website and also through our Facebook page.
This is Conemaugh Myersdale Medical Center, and my name is Heather Smith, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of this hospital. Our hospital is a full-service, acute care, inpatient and outpatient hospital, and our staff would say that it's a family-oriented work environment for all of our team members. So as I was preparing, we have 74 job titles. It's not just doctors and nurses, but to go through the many departments we have in nursing, obviously, registered nurses, LPN, and nurse aides. And then as we move to some of our clinical departments, in the laboratory, we have laboratory technicians, laboratory technologists, lab assistants, and phlebotomists. Our radiology or imaging department, our radiology technicians can also be ultrasound and vascular technicians. We have a cardiopulmonary and respiratory department, and in that department the staff are considered respiratory technicians. We also have an individual that's an echocardiogram technician. We have physical therapists, occupational therapists, and speech therapists. In some of our non-clinical departments, we have different level of dietary staff members. We have housekeepers and maintenance staff members. Our maintenance gentlemen have background in utilities and overall general maintenance. We also have many business office function staff members, registration clerks, individuals who do hospital billing and coding. We have administrative secretaries, medical records individuals, and then of course our administrative team. We have officers, our chief nursing officer, for example. We have administrative registered nurses who do various administrative work daily. We have a marketing individual, and we need to have information and technology individuals. So really from a clinical to non-clinical, there's a little bit of everything within those 74 positions available at our hospital. Right now, laboratory staff and nursing staff are our top needs. I think individuals, students in high school that maybe have an interest in science, anatomy and physiology might not be thinking about laboratory, but laboratory technicians, laboratory technologists, that's a critical need for us, as well as nursing. We could never have enough nurses, both registered nurses, LPNs, and nurse aides. Most of our positions can be managed through a 2-year education. An associate degree for some instances, some of them even called certifications. So for example, a registered nurse. You can receive your nursing degree in 2 years and be a registered nurse, take your examination, and then you can further your degree with a bachelor's degree, a master's. Some nurses receive specific certifications. You can become a certified emergency nurse. Those certifications and bachelors, what I like to promote is that once you've received your 2-year degree and become employed specifically at Meyersdale or within the Conemaugh Health System, we have tuition assistance programs that will support those students to further their education. Another example, a radiology technician. Again, an allied health 2-year degree to become general radiology. But just this morning, we had to celebrate one of our radiology staff members passed her CT examination. So now she can perform CT exams. And many of our business office setting employees can do maybe a 2-year associate degree at a business college. Some as simple as a high school diploma for our dietary staff and maybe our EVS staff. So I would say in general, a 2-year degree can really get your foot in the door, and then being able to utilize tuition assistance through the hospital to further those career goals. And this one I really appreciate in the high schools, that they're emphasizing great attendance. We need folks who are going to show up for work. A hospital operates 24/7, and it's too difficult and challenging to have clinical staff members, non-clinical staff members not show up for work. So attendance is something that we really look for strongly in a candidate. We're also looking for teamwork. It is studied and well documented that a teamwork environment in a hospital is a safe environment for patients, less chance for healthcare errors. We're also looking for compassion and empathy. And from a clinical standpoint, those students that really have a love of sciences, how the body works, how diseases work, anatomy and physiology, those are normally interests that we'll see in high school students if they're considering a career in a hospital field. All of our jobs are posted online through the Conemaugh Health System, and anybody can apply online directly to that Conemaugh website. I can't emphasize enough, 74 positions. You wouldn't think that there's that many in a small hometown hospital, but there is. The opportunities are here, and that hometown feel, that friendly family environment can sometimes really be important to an individual at the end of a long workday, that you felt like you were working side by side with your family.
Guy Chemical Company, Inc., and I am Guy Berkebile, the president and founder. We are a manufacturer. We have a 5,000 square foot laboratory. We formulate, compound, and package primarily adhesives and sealants. We produce silicone caulking, construction sealants, thread lockers, epoxy sealants, really a wide variety of adhesives and sealants. We have a job for nearly any skill level. We hire accountants, engineers, business managers, mechanics, chemists, forklift drivers, and production workers. We primarily need people in our mixing or chemical compounding room, and forklift drivers and production workers. We need people who have basic computer skills, number one. Everything that we do here is using some type of computer program, even on the shop floor. We need people who have good mechanical skills. We often hire people who do have mechanical schooling. A good candidate for us is somebody who has a good work ethic, they show up for work, and are detail-oriented. A lot of our customers require very high quality, so we have to make sure that the quality of the products we produce are constantly checked. We actually have jobs for a variety of people. If somebody is more of a quiet personality, we have production jobs for them. From a supervisory standpoint, we need people who have good organizational skills and good communication skills. You can apply to Guy Chemical by going to our website and sending me an email. Or you can walk into our office and apply as well. My email is very simple, guy@guychemical.com.
Hi, I'm Emily Corrins. I'm the president and the founder of Uptown Works, which is a co-working office here in Uptown Somerset, Pennsylvania. Co-working is shared use of office resources. So people come together in this space and they work together, even though that they don't work in the same business. They can come in with a laptop and set up and use the internet, use access to our office supplies and our printing, just like they would walk into a regular office, but it works like a subscription, a membership. So people are here based on the number of hours they want to work here per week. Some people are here just a few hours a week, and some people are here full-time, and it's a great, thriving community of people who work remotely right here in Somerset. I got the inspiration for Uptown Works because I was a remote worker myself. I moved back to Somerset from New Jersey about 10 or 11 years ago. And the job that I was doing was for Mars Incorporated, which is a global organization. And my job was a global job, and I could do it from anywhere in the world. So I decided to work from here in Somerset and start to raise my family here, so I could be close to my parents and their grandparents. But I found it was difficult to find a place to work. I couldn't really work from home. And I would rent office space off of various businesses in Somerset, but ultimately had to pay for the internet and pay for all my office supplies, and I was traveling so much, it didn't make any sense. When I would travel to New York or DC, I was familiar with co-working spaces in those cities, places like WeWork or Regis, and I thought maybe we could have something like that here in Somerset. So I asked Regina Kokenauer, our Main Street director, several times to open one, and she said, if this is really important to you, then you should do it. So she showed me this space, which had been empty for a couple of years, and I went forward with it because it was important enough to me to make it happen, and I thought there was probably a future in remote working. I thought if I was doing it, other people must be doing it as well, or could be doing it. And as it turned out, after the pandemic, everybody was doing it. So It turned out to be a few years ahead of our time, but it's working out really well. We have all types of different members here, and in total we have about 60 members at Uptown Works. Some people are here just a few hours per week or a month. Some people are here full-time and have a private office and treat this as their everyday office. So on any given day, there are probably 8 people here full-time, but you'll see a lot of people who are here just a few hours a week. Today, on the day that we're interviewing, I think we probably have about 15 people in the building. We have a meeting coming in later, so it's always an interesting mix of people. So the type of staffing that we have at Uptown Works, we have a community manager. Our community manager is really responsible for the day-to-day operations of the business. So it's an interesting job because in some ways it's an office manager, it's ordering supplies, it's keeping, making sure that all of the equipment is working, making sure that the office is tidy. But you're also an event planner because they're planning networking events to help connect our members. They're doing customer service to make sure that we're keeping up with our members' needs. And they're also doing marketing, so social media and sales. So it's a little bit of everything. We think it's one of the more unique jobs in the area. What we also find is that because we're a hub for entrepreneurship, we get a lot of questions from the community about freelance offerings. So they say things like, do you do graphic design? Or is there anybody here who builds websites? Is there anybody here that does video production? So we do a lot of referrals for freelance gig work. I think one of the most interesting things that has happened since Uptown Works has opened is that we've launched 6 businesses here, and it happens very organically. So you get into a community like this and not everybody has the same job. I mean, none of us work for the same company, but you end up finding these synergies between people, and they end up launching businesses together or launching projects together, which is really exciting. So I can definitely point to probably 5 businesses that if they didn't start at Uptown Works, they grew from Uptown Works from the relationships that were built here. So that's very exciting. Another really exciting thing about Uptown Works is just the number of different careers that we've seen from the people that walk through our doors and the people who are members. So on our current member roster, we have a film director, a real estate appraisal, a nursing case manager, somebody who does Medicaid billing. We have somebody who works as an executive in the Securities and Exchange Commission. We have a Stitch Fix stylist. We have a sales operations manager for a tech startup. It's just, we have a number of consultants. So I'm a consultant. I'm a consultant in the behavioral health care industry. We have a consultant in the tech industry, a consultant on water management, an environmental consultant, just a real wealth of different areas of expertise. And they all work remotely. Many of us travel and we have a home office that we have to go to occasionally, but for the most part, these jobs are right here in Somerset. The people who are working here from Somerset, these are good jobs. These are great paying jobs. And you know, as we've seen through the pandemic, more and more work can be done remotely. It's always been able to be done remotely, but more people are starting to adapt to that way of working. So we're really excited that we're here in the Somerset community to welcome people who have these really interesting jobs. I think that we've seen, I know that we've personally seen 3 examples here of young people coming to visit our community and staying here because of Uptown Works. So our film director is here because of Uptown Works. Our sales manager from a tech startup moved here from Buffalo. She came to visit and ski with a girlfriend, and she's been living here for 2 years because she found a community here. So it's really exciting. Like, I think that remote work is going to be this beacon that starts to bring people to our community. So the services that we provide at Uptown Works are really everything that you would need to get your work done during the day. So somebody who comes here, they can have a laptop, or we have a computer station to work at. We have an internet connection, we have office supplies, we have abundant amounts of coffee that come from the coffee place across the street. We have all of the provisions that you need to come in and do your work. In addition, we have a network that we can connect you into. So we're part of Startup Alleghenies. So if you were an entrepreneur looking to start a business, we can start to connect you with this ecosystem of support to help you start your business through Startup Alleghenies. We have two of our local banks have representatives here that are based here. We have real estate connections here, so you're walking into an established network in the community. There's not much that you would come in and say, oh, I need this, do you know anybody, that we won't be able to answer. An important part of our evolution has been that we've really become a hub of entrepreneurship in the community. That's happened pretty organically, just because of the way that we work and the way that we operate, but we're excited that Somerset Inc. is going to be they are going to have their main office here as well as Jari. So truly you can walk in the door at Uptown Works and you're going to be able to get connected with a lot of the resources that you need to start your business.
J&J Truck Bodies and Trailers. My name is Brian Krieger. I'm the robotics manager here at J&J. We build dump bodies and dump trucks, steel, aluminum, trailers also, for over 60 years. The robotics manager, so I oversee all the automation here at J&J, responsible for all the robotic programming, always looking to better the process. We're working on our aluminum line, where we build the understructure and the sides for all of our heavy duty or bigger dump bodies. Down the road we'll be doing a smaller scale, but our main goal right now is all of our heavy duty dump bodies. We have two here. We have two cells. The main one is 75 feet. It's a big footprint. It covers 75 feet of the floor. There's two robots on a track that's doing the welding for the underbodies and sides. 3 years. I started here 4 years ago and spent the first year, designing the robot that we were, determining what we needed. Then these last 3 years, the first year was installing it, getting it up and running, and we've been in production for about 3 years now. We hire for welders, steel and aluminum, mechanics, guys that can take a blueprint, read it, fabricators, painters, office help, purchasing. There's many roles here at J&J. I graduated from high school, went to SCTC and received my welding degree, and from that point I started in a welding facility and then proceeded on to learning robots through that company. After a few years, I've taken many classes in programming for robots. So your skills would be being able to weld is a big part of programming. Your science, your math, that's all a big part of it. I enjoy creating programs, designing tooling, and helping the company become more efficient and productive. We're always looking for dependable, reliable people willing to learn. Having the knowledge and ability to weld is definitely a plus. Computer background, of course being able to read a blueprint, tape measure, those are all things, but it's more of being dependable. I mean, you can teach people a lot of stuff, but you need dependable people. We have a website, jjbodies.com is our own, jjbodies.com is our own website, and on there you can find, you'll be able to find employment. I think there's an employment link on there. We've had co-op kids in the past. I believe we do have a couple kids, kids that are just graduated that are on the floor working now. So yeah, we do hire from our SCTC. We try to support them as much as we can.
Jar the Zero Waste Store. My name's Jen Barkman. I'm the owner and operator of the shop. JAR is an eco-friendly zero waste store that is focused on reducing single-use plastic waste in our community. So we offer reusable items and items in bulk so that you can reuse a container that you already have, bring it in, fill it up rather than buying a new container that will find its way to the landfill. We have food and soap refills. We've got olive oil, kombucha. We have soaps, bar soaps, handmade in Pennsylvania mostly. Skincare needs, shampoo bars and conditioners, all kinds of household goods, pet supplies, you know, that kind of like reusable cups, straws. We wanted to bring something to our community that we don't have, and my family and I started to reduce our waste several years ago, and it was very difficult to find products in our area. You'd always have to order everything online or drive hours away to get the items that you needed to start to live a zero waste lifestyle. In general, just the fact that we only have one planet and we're not taking very good care of it. So it's important to reduce the waste that we consume and to lessen our carbon footprint in order to help our planet grow stronger, to have it here for generations to come. I'm a high school graduate of Somerset, and I did go to Carlow University and the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown for about 3 years. I don't have a degree. Somebody that's outgoing, isn't afraid to talk to people, ask them if they need help, or you know, someone that's, you know, able to communicate on social media as well as in person. You need to have good communication skills and a happy personality, and would hopefully fall in line with our values of wanting to help the environment and, you know, not like an excessively wasteful person. Yeah, you can come in and fill out an application. We don't have any hiring needs at the moment, but we are looking to hire someone in the future, a retail associate. So, you know, computer skills and, you know, that type of thing is a plus as well, but just come in and fill out an application.
So my name's Crystal Pepper. I am the owner of Six Straight Tattoo, Kindred Soul Apparel, and Somerset Laser here in Somerset. So we have a little bit of a variety of businesses. Each one has its own little part. So we actually started out with a tattoo shop. My husband's an artist and was looking for a good space. It began our journey of looking at different properties around Somerset. So we found this here. It has a nice little city vibe. So we started with him, and then I had the desire to open a boutique. So then I looked into like urban type apparel that we don't have present here. I have a lot of like vintage like rock tees and that type of stuff. So then I opened Kindred Soul Apparel. I'm also an RN, so I wanted to incorporate my medical degree into bringing a business here. So I actually opened Somerset Laser Spa, and it is cosmetic procedures where I do like spider vein removal, laser hair removal, and photo facials, which have been really popular for people. So I think it depends on like what business you are wanting to open. For me, my journey was a little bit different. I did not go to school for business. I actually went to school for my RN, so I started to build all of my leadership experience within medical positions. So when I was in school, I did actually take some certifications for leadership and had a separate like diploma within my degree with that, but it was more involving myself and getting the experience doing leadership type things. Within the state of Pennsylvania, you actually have to have a physician oversee this medical equipment. So I do have an overseeing physician named Dr. Powell, and then I am able to own the business, and he is more of a resource for me if I have any additional questions above my nursing degree. I then took extra certifications to be able to run the equipment and to be able to be a certified like laser technician on top of that. So it was kind of nice because with my nursing degree, I was actually qualified without having to get a ton of extra training, which was nice. So It's kind of been a crazy year. I have actually just found like the importance of being able to bring everything together and be present with your family and be able to incorporate all of my strengths into one thing. So I really actually enjoy nursing in general, and I wanted to make sure that part of it was not removed from my life, but it was nice to be able to still focus on the family and the businesses here. So it was something that I was passionate about in nursing, but able to bring it all together and bring something here locally that we don't have. So you might see like different things with hair removal, but this is actually medical grade equipment that is not 50 miles from here. So whenever I like did the research of all of those types of things, you'd have to go to like Pittsburgh, Altoona, those types of places. And as people move here from the cities, just in relation to COVID, I feel like a lot of people wanted to move out of the cities. Those type of services will be things that people are used to but not able to get around here. So it was just nice to bring that. So we have Little Italy, the restaurant across the way. There's a beer distributor. There's also Moonchild Beauty, which is like a salon. And then there's also a music store down there. There's a girl that's younger that actually is doing a good thing and bringing a lot of music locally, and she's teaching people how to play like ukuleles and things like you wouldn't even think you'd be able to learn to play around here. So, and she's right down there. So like college age students and even some high school students are perfect for Kindred Soul. We always have some needs to work some weekend hours and some evenings. And that position does involve some modeling, some social media, those types of things that it seems like that younger crowd is really good at and actually enjoy doing that. So when at work they, take pictures of outfits and they model different clothing, and I actually do have some professional like photographers, and we go out and do photo shoots, and they seem to really enjoy that too. And we use all of that to build our website. So Kindred Soul does have a website, and we take our professional like photography pictures and then build it all together for us to be able to actually sell product all over the place. Like this morning we had someone from Texas order a purse, so I got to pack that up and get it situated and ship it off to Texas from Somerset, so that's kind of cool. A lot of it is social media at this point, and I think in general a lot of businesses is social media. I've looked into doing like billboards and things like that, and potentially once the plaza's complete, I might do a billboard type thing with the plaza. And have all the businesses within that, and then build a website just for the plaza that links everything together too. It's growing each day and trying to figure out what the best next step is. So I just think it's important whenever people are thinking about being entrepreneurs to keep their mind open to change. I never thought like 10 years ago I'd want to open a boutique, but it's more just acclimating to the things that make sense, not only within like your dreams and what you want to do, but also within the economy and within, the area you're wanting to open a business. So taking your knowledge and taking what you enjoy and just bringing it all together into one thing is kind of what we did here.
Our business name is UPMC Somerset. My name is Andy Rush, and I'm the president here at UPMC Somerset. Yeah, we're a 111-bed acute care hospital, so we offer outpatient services, inpatient services, as well as preventative care services for those in the county, but really the entire region, and we continue to grow that region. We offer clinical jobs, obviously, to operate our hospital, but most young people, particularly high school students or college students, are unaware of some of the non-clinical positions that we offer throughout the hospital. And those would be environmental services, information technology, finance, accounting, dietary. So, it goes beyond what we do. People obviously think of physicians and nurses, therapists of all type, respiratory, PT, OT, radiology technologists. So there's a wide variety of what we do here, but oftentimes it's the non-clinical positions that get missed when looking for jobs. We have a wide variety. The labor market has been challenging. Many positions are open. Nursing obviously is one of our biggest clinical needs at this time, but truly phlebotomists, are a large need across the system. Medical assistants, LPNs, but even physical therapists and OTs are needed across the system with the increasing demand. This is a really good career choice. Maintenance, our engineering department, clinical engineering, HVAC, those again are sometimes missed. They don't recognize a hospital with needing those, but we have very large hospitals, we have small hospitals, but those are much needed specialties. Plumbing, electricians, so they're all open at this time. Yeah, and it's a wide variety. We have positions that require a GED or high school diploma, some trade school certifications, 2-year associate's degree to bachelor's degree, on up to 12 years post-high school education for a physician. Some of those surgeon specialties even more than 12 years. So it is a wide range of requirements for our positions. And we offer great educational advancements and stipends for education for those that may enter an entry-level position and then find themselves really interested in either the same field at a higher level or even a different field, but we offer education to advance those employees and to retain them. We're very proud of the benefits we offer here at Somerset, and we know education is something we're very big on, but we like to improve our employees and give them the job satisfaction of growth throughout their career. So we do spend quite a bit of money on our benefits and invest in our employees. So we're very proud of that, particularly during these times.
Yes.
UPMC is spending $350 million this year investing in our employees. So that's recruitment and retention, advancement in education. It's truly remarkable the commitment they've made across the state and internationally. Absolutely. We've had so many employees start out at LPNs or an associate degree, end up with their master's degree.
Yes.
And that's the way to keep them. It keeps them engaged, motivated, but just broadens their scope of responsibility.
Yeah.
And then we've had some that were not even in the same field, that were a technologist somewhere in some department and wanted to go back to school for nursing. Obviously we're in the healthcare industry. We are truly life-changing, whether you're in a clinical position or non-clinical. I think you have to have that dignity, respect, compassion for helping others. And it may be directly helping others or indirectly. If you're in finance department, you've got to care about that patient's bill and being accurate. So we are the ultimate team industry. And I like being a part of that because we are all just as important in that patient's experience. So we look for those qualities, excellence, innovation, caring, listening, adaptability. Healthcare is very fluid. It is an industry that truly, particularly over the last year, has changed daily. Guidelines, restrictions, precautions, safety measures. We're coding this differently. It's been remarkable. So it takes people that really are able to handle the stress of change. So we look for that in people. Dependable when lives are at stake. We truly rely on people that are going to show up each and every day, prepared to provide the best possible care. So, and we have a great group here, but I think it becomes a culture. Quickly, if you're not used to that, you get the expectation when you join a healthcare industry, not just here. Our websites are pretty thorough, and there's a lot of jobs. And what's nice about being part of a world-class leading healthcare system that's very large, we have 40 hospitals across 3 states. We have international positions, so Italy, Ireland, Kazakhstan, China, and it's growing. So there's a wide variety of locations you can work for. Obviously I'm biased, I want people here in our community, but it's nice to be a part of a system if they have an opportunity to grow. They can go to Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, Erie, and still be within the system with the same benefits and structure. Yeah, obviously I'm proud of my transition, but I started out as a frontline caregiver for patients in the physical therapy industry. Love the work, truly love taking care of patients. As I assumed more roles, like I talk about professional growth, I was given management opportunities that grew rather quickly, grew into physician practices, physician recruiting, orthopedics, and that extended into a lot of time with administrative work. So I went on to continue my education and got my MBA in healthcare administration. And even though I love taking care of patients, I felt I could do more and serve patients in a broader capacity, not a frontline capacity, but still have that reward of helping a large region per se have access to services and see what people need. So I got my MBA in healthcare administration, then moved on to a chief operating officer and a CEO of the physician group who I work closely with, and then moved on to the president's role of both. So there's no question my clinical background has helped me with my career immensely. A lot of colleagues, and not to say one's better than the other, but I feel my relationship with clinical throughput, patient experience keeps in the back of my mind as I talk with physicians and nurses. I know what they're going through, whether it's EHR, scheduling, missed appointments, rescheduling appointments, all on top of my mind because I was there as a caregiver. Sure. So I enjoyed my pathway. I wouldn't do it any different. If I had the choice, I would still go clinical and move on to the administrative end. I just, reach out to young people to explore healthcare. And again, if you're not interested in clinical, take a deeper dive and look at those non-clinical, but with a great organization, with a great mission and vision and values, because you can be a part of that team to help people. You're just not there taking care of their physical needs all the time. But if you can make their room nice and comfy and have a great HVAC system and you can clean their room and feel a part of that care, it's a great place to work.
I work at UPMC Somerset. My name is Kate King. I'm a physical therapist. Well, when someone orders for physical therapy to come along, we go in to a patient's room and we kind of assess how they move. So we go in, we see how they transfer, how they can walk, we test their balance and their stability, if they're safe, and we take those assessments so we can make a recommendation for a safe discharge. You don't necessarily have to be a physical therapist. The assistants, we work very closely with the assistants, and they often go off in paired teams, the assistants will. Or sometimes I, as the therapist, will go off with one of the occupational therapist assistants. But they mainly do our treatments, so they're able to go into the patient's room. They work directly with all the patients, are very involved in their care as well, in helping them achieve their goals, and they do all the same things. They don't quite do all the assessments, but they are able to walk them and do all the treatments with them. So they're a big part of their care. There's 2 physical therapists and there's 2 assistants, and we work really close with occupational therapy. So usually a physical therapist and an occupational therapist go together, and we'll often assess people together, because when you walk into a room, you don't know what you're going to find. And we can both look at different things, even if we're there at the same time. Like, I'll be looking at the person walking and transferring and their balance and safety, and they could be looking for their standing tolerance, and they can see if they are able to get themselves washed or dressed, and are they able to toilet themselves. So we kind of go in and a teamwork approach, really. So it works the best for everyone around. So OT makes sure you can do the tasks of daily living. So washing and dressing, and are you able to do your cooking and cleaning if you do that at home? And then PT really is more the mobility aspect, the transfers, the walking, the balance, the safety aspects and that. So endurance. I have a doctorate in physical therapy. So that was a 6-year program, and I actually have an undergrad in health science. I think the assistant program for most places is like a 2-year associate degree, I believe. So that's a great option for a lot of people. I would say, especially in the acute care setting, you'd have to be very detail oriented. Just going to a patient's room, you have to take in so much and pay attention to so many different things, like how much oxygen is on, or is the bed alarm on, or what kind of equipment they need, and you have to be efficient with that going on, because it's being efficient, we have a lot of people to see, and the only way we're going to get everything done is if we are efficient. So we need to make a plan and make sure we have everything that we need going into the room. Like what kind of problems we come in. Do we have extra oxygen tubing? Do we have socks if they're going to need socks? So anything like that. Or organization is good in that matter as well. So critical thinking and problem solving, because everyone is so different, and maybe there's just like one thing that is keeping them from being able to go home, and maybe we could think up a solution how that person could go up these 2 steps without a railing, or to make it possible for them to go home and not have to go elsewhere. Number one is you just need to be personable, because when you walk into a patient's room, they're not going to want to have someone just walk in and be like, okay, I'm here to move you. Yeah. They're going to want to get to know you. They want to talk to you, and they're going to be more willing to work with you if you are open and have conversations with them. Also empathetic. These people are going through a lot. They're really sick in the hospital, and just having a little bit of empathy goes a long way. Patience is very good as well, because again, these people are sick, and it might take them a while to get to the edge of the bed before we can stand. We might have to sit at the edge of the bed for a couple minutes before they're comfortable and even trying to stand up. So just really taking your time, having the patience, and being relatable, being able to relate to the patient and understand what they're going through, or even if you've never been there, just goes back to the empathy, I guess, and just showing you care. Here, I love how we are so teamwork. Like the approach is just all about the teamwork. And here's a small hospital, small town setting. We get to know the people, and you quickly become a team and are able to really help the patient and ensure proper discharge planning, and they meet their goals.
UPMC Somerset. I'm Josh, and I'm an occupational therapist. So I work at both the hospital setting as well as outpatient setting. So the hospital setting is completely different from the outpatient setting. So in the hospital, I'm working with a lot of different patients, dealing with they might have respiratory issues, heart or cardiac issues, orthopedic issues, which would be hip fractures, arm fractures, things like that. So in the hospital setting, I'm normally working with patients to get them up and moving. Making sure that they're safe either with a cane if they use that, or a wheeled walker if they use that. And we're kind of integral in the area of trying to get the patient the help that they need. So if they're not doing so well, trying to get them set up for inpatient rehab or rehab through a skilled nursing facility, or if they are able to go home, maybe some home health. So we're working with patients, getting them walking, using the walker or cane safely, as well as doing those daily activities like dressing, bathing, making sure they're able to do that safely and independently, getting in and out of bed safely, independently, on and off the toilet, on and off different surfaces, either the bed or the chair. So that's pretty much it for the hospital setting. Outpatient setting for occupational therapy, again, completely different. I'm mostly working elbow, wrist, hand injuries. So that might be your, golfer's elbow, tennis elbow, wrist sprains, wrist strains, elbow sprains, strains, as well as, seeing patients after a wrist fracture or a finger fracture, trying to get the range of motion, their strength back, working on pain management. So I have a bachelor's in health science and then a master's degree in occupational therapy. We have the occupational therapists like myself and then occupational therapy assistants. They're normally a 2-year degree for OTAs. We set kind of the plan of care for the patients and the goals that we need to work on, and then the occupational therapy assistants do the treatment, and they kind of carry out that plan to make sure the patient's working towards those goals that we set. Definitely have to be a people person, because you're going to be working with a lot of different patients. You also have to be compassionate with the patients that you're working with. Especially in the hospital setting, there's just patients that aren't feeling the best. They might be in pain. They're under a lot of stressors just being in the hospital setting. So you have to be kind of empathetic to what they're going through when you're working with them. Other than that, definitely have to be detail oriented. Is something that you need in this position. because in the hospital setting, we'll do that first. You just need to make sure you're looking at the patient's chart, identifying what testing that they're going for, what procedures they might be going for, certain medications that they might be on that might contraindicate therapy or might make it inappropriate for therapy that day. Outpatient setting, you have to kind of know what the patient's condition is, their diagnosis, and know what types of treatment therapy are appropriate for their condition. So definitely have to be detail oriented. Definitely the science-based courses, if they have anatomy and physiology in middle school, high school, that's something that they should look into and take. That would give them a really nice head start into occupational therapy for sure. Oh, I work with a lot of different patients, a lot of different conditions, so it keeps it fresh that I get to work both at the hospital setting and the outpatient setting. And I kind of like to see patients progress, whether it be at the hospital setting. You don't get as much time working in the hospital setting, might just be a few days, but it's nice to see the progression that a patient makes. And same thing with the outpatient setting. You get to work with them a little bit longer. Let's say it's for a wrist fracture. It's just nice to take measurements, day of evaluation, and just kind of see their whether it be their motion or their pain or their strength improve over time. So it's kind of rewarding in that sense.
UPMC Somerset. My name is Deborah Rose. Everybody calls me Debbie, and my job is laundry. We have an outside source that processes our laundry at this time, and my job right now is I take the clean linen to the floors, and I gather the dirty linen, and then I have to get the dirty linen taken out to the staging area for whenever the folks come to pick it up 3 times a week. There wasn't really any kind of special training that needs done. Anybody can come in on an entry-level job in the laundry department, or I was in housekeeping for about 12 years prior to laundry. You have to be strong. You have to have a strong back, strong legs. And you have to have a good attitude, because there's a lot of people around here that sometimes don't, and you have to have a good attitude to help them through their day. Somebody that's willing to work hard, because there is heavy lifting, it's just a heavy job sometimes. An example, I just brought a load of dirty laundry down off of the floor, and between the cart and the dirty laundry, it weighed 375 pounds. The only reason I know that is because one of the nurses up on the floor says, "Boy, that must be heavy." And I never really weighed them before. I like the camaraderie with everybody in the hospital. I've been here for a very long time. I've been here over 40 years. Wow. And I kind of feel like Norm from Cheers. Everybody knows my name.
Hello, my name's Jason Oliver. I'm the lab manager here at UPMC Somerset. Basically, I oversee the laboratory here at the hospital. We have approximately 33 employees, ranging from technical positions, phlebotomy positions, clerical positions. So I'm the manager, so I oversee daily operations. Absolutely, we have a wide range of jobs, from entry-level high school education roles through Bachelor of Science degree roles. So, yeah. Actually, we are about 5 positions down from where we'd like to be. We have 4 technical roles, so that would be the lab scientist, the actual people doing the lab testing. We also have a phlebotomy role currently. So that would be the person that would draw your blood if you would come in to have blood work done. They're the phlebotomist. So right now that's our current needs. Again, if we have anything from a high school graduate up to a Bachelor of Science in Medical Technology. So we have our phlebotomists. They're usually high school graduates. Some of them actually all of them that we have here, but it's not a requirement, but the ones that we have currently employed have a certificate, which is usually like a 6-week program in phlebotomy, and there's also opportunity. You could do initial certificate, then there's other certificates you could get through that phlebotomy program. So that's a good avenue for somebody coming out of high school, interested in the healthcare field, looking for a way to get involved in the healthcare field. That's a good avenue. Then we have the lab scientists, what we call medical laboratory technicians, which is a 2-year associate's degree. And they can come in and they're able to do complex testing in the lab. And then we have medical technologist, which is a bachelor's of science degree, which is a 4-year degree. Usually the programs at college are 3-in-1, which means 3 years of coursework and then 1 year doing a clinical rotation at a approved facility. Oh gosh, we're looking for anybody that is passionate about the sciences. Somebody who's going to come in the laboratory, you know, wants to have a strong interest in science, math, those type of things. But we also like people that are customer service driven. Here at UPMC Somerset, you know, our customers are number one priority, our patients are number one priority, so we're very, very passionate about customer service. So somebody that might have been through high school done waitressing or hostess work or retail work, anything customer service, that's a really strong background to come in. You know, you don't think about that really when you think about the hospital, but it's very important. UPMC Careerlinks is where we suggest people to go to. You can go online to UPMC Careers and search lab services. There's many filters you can go through when you're there. It's really user friendly, but that brings up all the listings and you can apply right online.
I'm Sally Blau, and I work at the linen and housekeeping departments at UPMC Somerset. In the laundry or the linen, I collect the dirty linen, I put it in a bin, and then I take the clean linen up to make sure that there's enough up on the patient floors that they have enough linen that if they need, that they can get it from there. Just a high school diploma. I always say that if you can clean a house, you can do a job in here. It's a little bit different, but once you get the hang of things and you can do basically what you do at home, it's just a little bit better. In both areas, I meet a lot of people, and I'm a people person. I can strike up a conversation with anybody, whether it be visitors, patients, staff members, people like that. I mean, I strike up a conversation with anybody, and that's part of the job that I like, is interacting with other people. Anybody that can clean or have a concept of cleaning can basically work here. You get trained for a couple weeks on the details and what you have to do and ins and outs of everything. It's a little different from the regular cleaning that you may do at home, but it's, you know, we do it to where the patient can feel comfortable that it's a clean area. Keeping it clean and making sure that it's a sterile environment so that the patient or visitors, they go in, they look, and they say, well, this is very clean, I'm going to recommend this hospital. Despite this being an older hospital, we get compliments how clean everything is. We do strive to do the best, and we take every compliment to heart because we try our best to make sure that it's as clean as possible.
I'm Melissa Minnick, and I'm the Imaging Director here at UPMC Somerset. I am the director, but I would really like to focus on radiologic technology and some of the jobs that are available within my department. So as an X-ray tech, you're imaging body parts, arms, legs, abdomen, chest. And then you can also specialize. CT is computed tomography. You're seeing more of a 3D imaging. MRI is magnetic imaging. You're using a magnet to see the internal. You're focusing on muscles, bones, spine, things like that. Ultrasonography is a sonogram. You're not using any radiation. You're actually using a transducer. We do have a lot of body parts. A lot of people think of, when they think of ultrasound, they think of OB. Baby ultrasounds, which we do those types of studies too, but there's so much more than that. Body parts, breast, carotids, vascular, things like that. And then mammography, of course. We specialize, you're doing breast imaging, mammograms on patients, and then we also have special procedures. You're doing upper GIs, barium swallows, barium enemas. Those are the types of things that kind of fall under that radiologic technology category. As far as a radiologic technology, it's a 2-year degree, an associate's of science degree. Someone more advanced that wants to go into management, things like that, you're looking at a bachelor's and even sometimes a master's degree. As far as an associate's degree, it's a 2-year degree through a rad tech program. They still have hospital-based programs as well as colleges. And then once you go through the 2-year school, you have to take your ART exam. It's American Registry of Radiologic Technology. And that is a registry exam, just like nursing and things like that. You have to take that and successfully pass that exam to be a rad tech. I'm going to focus on both the classroom skills and then some of the qualities that I think would make you a good rad tech. As far as classes, your routine anatomy, physiology, you do have to have math, normally a college algebra, chemistry, patient positioning, patient safety, medical terminology, and that's kind of the routine of the exams or the classes that you would do for that profession. As far as some of the qualities that I think would make you a great rad tech, definitely communication skills. You've got to be able to communicate with your patients. You're working with physicians. You're working with other medical profession, as a team. Great communication skills. Critical thinking, because you are working in an emergency situation sometimes, so you have to be able to think quickly and critical thinking. Customer service, you got to be caring and compassionate when you're when you're dealing with sick patients. And then attention to detail. You got to be focusing on what you're doing in those circumstances. And then highly motivated, someone that's willing to come in and really get the job done and take great care of our patients. We do a lot of what we refer to as on-the-job training. There are specialized schools you can go for CT. After you've been through the 2-year rad tech program, you can go to an additional year for CAT scan or MRI or ultrasound. We do a lot of on-the-job training here. We'll actually work you in CAT scan. You'll learn all the technical skills and the abilities that you need to do, and then you'll do online classes, track all of your exams, and then again, you'll go and take a specialized ART exam specific for CAT scan or MRI or ultrasound. So being a hospital small like this, it's very nice for us to be able to do that cross-training. A lot of hospitals don't do that. With that number of staff, you really you can't do it. So we're very fortunate to be able to do a lot of cross-training here. I like my job because I'm a people person. I enjoy talking with people, being with people, and when you work in healthcare, the whole purpose is wanting to take care of our patients and provide good quality care. So that's kind of why I like my job. In light of everything that's happened the last 2 years, I know a lot of people are thinking, I don't want to go into healthcare, but in my opinion, now more than ever, we need those people in healthcare, We need those people that are going to be dedicated to taking care. I want someone to take care of me when I get older, So we need the new, younger generation coming in into healthcare. And it really is a great profession, and it's very rewarding. Some days are stressful, but for the most part, when you're taking care of patients, it's very rewarding.
Hi, I am Chris Wolf, and I'm the Chief Nursing Officer and Vice President of Patient Care Services, and I work at UPMC Somerset. So in my role as Chief Nursing Officer and Vice President of Patient Care Services, I oversee and am responsible for all of the patient care delivery here at the hospital. I cover areas such as our inpatient area, our emergency department. We also have procedural areas like the cath lab. We have a GI lab. Of course, we have surgical services where we do ORs and different procedures. We also have a laboratory here, medical laboratory. We also offer home health services here through UPMC Somerset, and many other areas that we can cover today. Oh, we have lots of different opportunities for people, ranging from all types of experience to really no experience. We do a lot of on-the-job training. So some of the roles that we have for supporting our inpatient areas, we have registered nurses, licensed practical nurses, nursing assistants, patient care technicians, health unit coordinators. We also have supporting areas such as our phlebotomists, our imaging technologists. In the emergency department, we have similar roles with nursing. We have patient care technicians, and we also have unit secretaries there. Some of the other roles that I think are also important to highlight as far as clinical partners in delivering this patient care are pharmacists and pharmacy technicians. It's a very exciting opportunity. We have lots of new options also as far as implementing career ladders. Pharmacy is one of those, nursing is another. Our engineering and facilities folks also have career ladder opportunities, so it's really an exciting time to be part of a system, and we hope that people will also consider other roles such as our dietary staff and our environmental services. We have roles across this organization to fit everyone's needs. Another area that I think is really exciting for us to think about for opportunities are in our physician practices or outpatient areas. We do have nursing opportunities there, we have medical assistant opportunities there, and we also have patient access representatives that help patients as they come in to navigate through their appointments. We always have opportunities in healthcare. I think that's one of the great things about entering in the healthcare environment. As you know, we do have a nursing shortage, but we have lots of other opportunities as well. We're always looking to build our team. We want to take great care of our patients, and by adding new people in all the time, we are able to deliver that care. So from an educational perspective, we have staff members who have high school diplomas, GEDs. We have folks with bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and doctorate degrees. We have all kinds of opportunities for people at various levels of their educational degree. We even have student roles, and we have many of our student workers are still in high school. So we have lots of opportunity to start in healthcare at an early age. I think a good candidate for a team member to join on here at UPMC Somerset is someone who is really committed to making a difference in the lives of our patients and our employees. We really want people to feel welcome here, to make a family out of UPMC Somerset staff, and to feel welcomed and a place where they can grow and learn. Jobs at UPMC Somerset can be found on our careers page through www.upmc.com, and there are lots of opportunities there for UPMC Somerset as well as across our system. I started at UPMC as a graduate nurse way back when, and I worked at our facility in Oakland at UPMC Presbyterian, and I learned how to be a nurse there. I was a graduate of the University of Pittsburgh and had done some clinicals at that site, so I was familiar with the facility a little bit, and joined their team, and it's been an awesome experience. I've had roles and opportunities that I never even knew existed whenever I was in nursing school. It's just a lifetime of opportunities, and I can't say enough about what I've been able to do and how I've been able to serve. I think UPMC is a great place to work. I've had a lifelong career here. We are 95,000 employees strong with opportunities right here in Somerset, across Pennsylvania, in New York, in Maryland, and international opportunities as well. There's always something to do here. We would love to have people join our team and start their career, and truly, it can be a lifelong career.